Oh, no, he didn't.
Girl, yes, he did.
What is so funny is I don't even remember what we're talking about today.
You know, as soon as you said, I said, now what's the subject? Oh, I'll just wait and hear what she had to say.
I said I'm just going to wait and see what she said. Thank you all for joining us for another edition of Oh No Girl Yes. This is how we come up with our topics. Something happens, and then we say, oh, let's not talk about it until we do the podcast. And so somebody going to...
Free agency.
Free agency. All right. Thank you all for listening. Make sure you follow us, subscribe to Patreon, follow us on YouTube, subscribe to the podcast on wherever you love to listen to podcasts. Also, we have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and welcome to all of our new listeners for sure.
Welcome.
All right. Free agency. So when we say free agency, we're talking about, we are speaking from personal experience. And so if you do not do this, please share it in the comments. But we tend to like one guy. Does not mean he is our guy. Does not mean we are in a committed relationship, but we tend to focus on one guy. We tend to put all of our eggs in one basket, and then we don't date other people. And then when that does not work out, we then feel like we're holding this empty, broken basket, and we're like, why did I commit so much to something that was not my team? I was a free agent.
Yeah.
And so I think we've talked about it before, but we've never really been able to actually activate free agency.
Right. We've talked about it. Every time I say I'm not going to do this, I end up doing it. But I wonder if it's just me or if it's just us, and where we can't help, like I can't help but put all my attention. I don't have enough energy to be investing, or maybe I'm investing too much. That might be the thing. I might be investing too much energy into one source instead of spreading my energy around. I don't know how to harness it. I don't know how to divide it.
It's hard, one, to find one person to give the energy to in the first place. And so that's one thing, is usually if you find one person that you kind of want to invest a little time and energy to, I mean, it'd be greedy hoping to find two at the same time.
Right.
So sometimes one person is still going to get more energy anyway. The other one might just be a hanger-on or something you hadn't ended. Either way, it seems to never really be fully equal in your attention, in your effort. Whatever the reason. You might have somewhat of a rotation, but not really. It's like a couple of them you don't even talk to or respond to.
Right.
And so
they're right.
Right. And even though you're telling yourself you have a rotation, you really don't, because it's the only one of them that you actually like. And we said we have to get better at this, because in my mind, I'm telling myself right now, I am a free agent until I get a ring on my finger. Meaning, even if we have the exclusive conversation, and you say you want to be in an exclusive relationship with me, I feel like I have to, somewhere in my mind and heart, still be open to whatever. Not saying cheating.
I got you.
I don't mean cheating. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I was about to come for you.
You was gonna come for me. No, so I wouldn't agree to go into an exclusive relationship if I was planning on dating other people.
Right. Well, no, my question was going to be, you clarified it. My question was going to be, why didn't the exclusivity of the relationship stop you from blah, blah, blah? But you're saying you're still going to be open. You're not going to be seeking. You're going to be open. She's shaking her head for those of you.
Oh, for those who are listening. Yes and no. Because... And again, we can always talk about how would we feel if a guy did that, but I feel like men do that. And so I feel like we got to change the game a little bit. And I'm not saying that if I'm in an exclusive relationship, I would be open to dating someone else. I'm saying I'm open to other possibilities, because what happens, we shut things down immediately. Oh no, I got a boo. Nope, I'm good. Nope, I'm good. And they only show up when you think you got somebody too. For the record.
Yeah.
And so I think if I got in an exclusive relationship again, I think I would enjoy being in that relationship, but I would not be, for lack of a better term, balls to the walls until we were engaged.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't know how I would implement that, but it sounds super ideal, because like you said, I think men do that all the time. They are open.
They stay open. They stay open. And you're like, wait a minute. I thought we was together. I wasn't even looking at nobody else. I ain't even entertained nobody else because I'm with you. And then you look up and you're like, wait, what happened?
The word of the day is open. We gotta learn how to embrace that.
And it's a fine line, because we're not saying tell someone you're exclusive and cheat on them. We are not saying that. Mm-hmm. We're saying be in an exclusive relationship. However, if you met somebody that was great and wonderful, I think you owe it to yourself, if you are not engaged or married, to be open to say, that's interesting. And even if that means you go back and kind of recalibrate the exclusiveness of your relationship. You know, I think timing also matters. You know, people have been in an exclusive relationship for years. And when it does end, the man is ready to move on quicker than the woman, because the woman had all her eggs in this basket for all them years.
Yeah.
Not even saying in case of emergency. I'm not saying have somebody waiting on the sidelines and say, well, if this don't work out. I think in my mind, and as you say, in an ideal situation, it would look like, oh, wow, he's a really cool guy. He seems cool. And then maybe just try to find out about him from a distance. You know, kind of watch him from a distance. See how he moves from a distance. Is he single? What's his storyline? Would I like him?
Yeah, there's a fine line.
It's a fine line. Even talk about it. And it's funny but this is what's crazy. We feel bad even talking about it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But it's like when you mention the man part, because I think that is a difference between a lot of men and a lot of women. I'm not saying all men and all women, but I think, you know, in general, when women have an exclusive situation over here, they're locked in. They are committed. This is it. And then from a man's perspective, yeah, I'm here, but you know, I might not be here tomorrow.
I mean, I don't know what the rest of the day gonna bring.
Right. And so it feels rude to you as that person's woman that they're locked in like you are. So maybe we should stop being locked in.
Just maintain free agency. Now, again, we can talk about it, but we have never been able to actually practice this. We have talked about practicing this before. And what happens is we went from, okay, we're not doing no more situationships. Right? And that's something that we were talking about in one of the last episodes, is you just recently protected yourself from a situationship.
Right.
I think the last 4 or 5 things I talked to was a situationship I protected myself from. Because we're not even in relationships that don't work out. We just in hanging outs that don't work out. And then them hanging outs get all our eggs.
Yeah.
And then they say, why did you put all your eggs in this basket?
And I think, give you a basket? I think that's the difference now, because it's not like we've been in an exclusive relationship in a while. Mm-hmm. So even the relationships or situationships that we're in, we are too locked into them. We are too focused on it. We're giving too much energy to them, to people who don't even want to be in a relationship with us, let alone an exclusive one. Yes. So I think this free agency thing is something we need to learn to master.
We have to, because we waste a lot of our own time, because one, at the time we're investing into this person, it's not investing it in us back. We won't get back. And then 2, we do tend to focus so much on one person at a time that we might be missing out on the real person, because that other person got there first and ain't even trying to hold the spot for real.
Right.
So, but again, we talk a good game. Why is it that you think you have a harder time liking more than one person? Is it just the energy, or what is it?
I think the energy is one. As I mentioned before, it's hard to divide my energy like that. It's hard to separate it, I guess. If I like somebody, I like you. That's what it is. I've never found it to be fun.
To joke.
Yeah, I don't find pleasure in talking to multiple people at once. Like, I mean, on a deeper level. Like, I don't know why. It just doesn't. And then I think part of it, I was about to say the stigma of it, but I don't think that really bothers me these days. Of being looked at as like a player or something like. I'm not even a player, just, you know.
But even in you saying that, what is the stigma that women have against that? I mean, again,
I don't. That's the thing. I don't.
It's a relationship, so.
Yeah, I don't think I do have a stigma, but me bringing it up makes me think that I do. I have something is in my mind.
Well, most women do. We have some kind of hang up about it.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I just, it could be society. It could be the way I thought it should be. And we debunk that stuff all the time. So maybe this is time for us to debunk this. And like I said, especially for the two of us.
Yeah.
Knowing when your last relationship was more recent than mine, and it was still.
I feel like you keep bringing up the fact that I ain't had a man in a while. Like it feels weird.
No, I said more recent.
I said something about it.
I said more recent than mine.
Oh, mine was more recent than yours.
But it was still about more than a year ago.
That's horrible too. Mine was a year and a half ago. Mine was more recent than yours.
No.
Oh, okay. You were shading both of us, but more than me.
But so for us to be struggling for the past year and a half with trying to navigate one person at a time, it shouldn't be a struggle.
It really shouldn't be. Because ain't nobody trying to sign us to no team, so why do we struggle with free agency so bad? I think part of my situation is, it's like if I talk to you and I talk to my mom, and then I tell you something, you say, yeah, you told me that yesterday. I'm like, did I tell you that yesterday? That was you? I feel like I wouldn't want to try to keep up with who I was talking to, or who did I tell that to? And maybe because we aren't good at it, maybe everything ain't for everybody. Maybe this person over here, you only talk to them about XYZ, or they're good for this purpose. And then that's not why you have the other person around. I'm not talking about, but again, I don't know. The rotation thing, I don't know if the word is lazy. I'm not that interested in one person at a time that I'm gonna try to be interested in two.
Mm-hmm. That's the energy thing too. But we don't have a lifetime of this practice either. Where men have a lifetime of rotating women around. And they're good at it. By the time they get our age and older.
Okay, you say our age. I'm 10 years older than you, and I have men my age that will still say, well, yeah, I don't want to grow old by myself. And I say, well, that process has already started. So I'm like, when do you think grow old by yourself begins? Because if it ain't now, when is it? I think they think when they filling out the application for the nursing home, they're like, oh, okay, now I'll get somebody.
Or when it's time for somebody to change their diaper.
Right. And so when men are 45 and up, talking about, well, yeah, I don't want to grow old by myself. This is actually the growing old period. This is the growing old portion of the show, because after this point, you old. This is still the growing old time. So I don't understand. You're 45 and you say, I want to grow old. Okay, we need to start now. We need to start now. And then we'll have 10, 15 years to grow old together. And then we just go be old.
Yeah.
And that's why and it's hard for me talking to men my age and not understanding why they don't have that concept of when they say, I don't want to grow old alone.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, well, that's what you have been doing. At least since you was 40, you've been going old alone.
Yeah, I don't know.
Definitely at 45. And I think a lot of times, because men do keep so many options open, we were talking about on a podcast a couple of weeks ago, maybe a few months ago, one of the last guys that I thought I was going to date wanted to be my friend and wanted to keep me as a friend if anything happened. You had a recent situation that somebody wanted to be your friend versus being intentional. And we want to clarify that we do believe friendship is key before entering into a relationship, but we can't meet each other as adults talking about we're going to be friends, and if something else happened, cool. We got to be intentional about why we're spending time together, why we're getting to know each other, why are we building something to see if it could lead to something else. But that men our age, and my age especially, are still talking about, let's be friends.
And got a whole bunch of friends out there.
Gangs of friends.
And I wonder why.
They call them a harem of friends, a brothel of friends. And you're like, well,
I mean, I get it. And we talked about this on our Patreon more in detail. And one of the comments we got was, from my mama. I'll just go ahead and say it. She said something like, maybe she's just from a different era, because like friendship sounds ideal to her. But yes, and they will package it up as ideal. And it makes us sound like we're the crazy ones when we say, ho, 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 ho.
Like we said, hey, my name's Eunice. Let's be in a relationship. It's like,
Yeah, and I'm not out there, I'm not anti-friend or anything like that. But this particular person that Eunice is talking about for my situation is someone I met on a dating app. So I obviously didn't go to a dating app to find a friend or another friend. I went on a dating app to date someone. And that's what wasn't happening.
And through dating, you build a friendship that
right.
could lead to a
but
relationship.
The dating wasn't even happening that I felt like it should have been, the way I should have felt.
When you meet someone on a dating app and they say they want to be friends,
yeah,
we're not going to be friends.
Yeah, and I addressed this twice with him. I was honest. You know, I addressed it the first time. I felt like we were in this friend zone. I'm like, hey, what's going on? You know, I don't want to be friend zone. I made it clear. And I thought we had gotten over it. And then a week later, it was like we were back to that same spot. And so, and then the conversation didn't change. He hadn't changed his mind. I didn't know. So, yeah, I mean, at this point.
But that's because you are clear and intentional. You probably would not have communicated that 5 years ago, 10 years ago.
Right. Exactly. But I am intentional because I know, you know, I'm not getting any younger. And I don't want to sound like I'm rushing things and stuff like that. Like, I don't want to sound like that. And we're actually going to talk about this in a future episode. We talked about like biological clocks and, you know, that timetable that society puts on you. We're going to talk about that later. But with that in mind, I know I'm not rushing things, but at the same time, I don't want to waste time.
Right. And that's the thing. It's not about rushing it, but realistically, you know for a fact if you met someone today at 6 p.m., you still gonna have to take time to get to know them and date them and grow with them before you're talking about spending your life with them.
There's a time period, friend. I get that, but but the intention in the beginning, I need to know. And if your intention
does not mean you're gonna be together. That means
right. But if you talk to me for 3 weeks and know you don't want to be with me romantically or pursue me romantically, then that's I mean, you know, I think I know within the 24-hour period whether I want to pursue somebody romantically. I might not know everything about them, but I know if there's an attraction that I want to continue to get to know. And if you tell me the jury's still out on that, what am I supposed to say? You know? And the little analogy you gave about the car situation. If I know what I want, why do I have another car in my driveway taking up space for my
space? It ain't even your car. You ain't even got the keys to it, but any car that drives by keeps driving because it can't park there.
Yeah.
And for women, we got to stop having these cars that own bricks, cars that don't belong to us, cars that don't even crank up in our driveway because they're taking up the space in our heart and our mind.
Exactly.
And they're not actually adding to the value of our actual lives.
Exactly.
But can't nobody else come in that space because they just see a car there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my driveway is clear. And that's part of that free agency. How is it that you have a car there, but I will say, listen, when you pull up, pull all the way up. Because somebody might need to park in the back. Well, all the way up, so it'll be room. And I think
don't park in my driveway. Just park in the front of the street, in front of the house.
But I'm saying once you've had the exclusive, now you parking on the street.
Yeah,
like we had the exclusive conversation, but we also got to figure out how to maintain.
Oh, just pull up.
Pull all the way up, and they start getting at the car halfway up the drive. Pull all the way up, because somebody might need to park behind you.
Yeah. So,
how'd it go?
There's that.
Now we talk a good game. We talk a good game, and we have said this before.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we both have tried to. We've never had a full-blown rotation, but we both have had like maybe 1 or 2 or 3 guys that might text at the same time. We ain't seeing at least 2 of them. We ain't talking to maybe 3 of them.
Right.
See one of them sometime. So it's never been like a full rotation where we ever had to actually check ourselves and say, oh, wait a minute now, am I spreading myself too thin? Or wait, am I going to forget what I said to this person? Or where am I supposed to be? Or, oh, please don't let me be seen somewhere and I'm supposed to be somewhere else. We still have never gotten there.
Yeah.
But we do talk a good game. And we have decided, I'm in a situation right now where I am not in an exclusive relationship, but I am getting to know one person.
Yeah.
So that's how we came up with this topic, because someone else asked me out and I said I would go because I'm not in an exclusive relationship. We haven't had a conversation. We're just getting to know each other.
Right. Exactly.
Even though we spent a lot of time talking, We don't live in the same state, so we spend a lot of time talking or FaceTiming.
Right.
If someone else asks me out, I have to tell myself I would be open to going if I was interested in this person. And not just say, well, I talk to this guy every day and it's going well and we seem to like each other. No. Somebody else that could potentially light my fire asked me out. I am a free agent.
Right.
And we have to maintain that. Now, the person that asked me out ain't called me again. So, see how that worked out? See how that went?
It
went real quick, fast to nowhere. So, I really didn't have that many decisions to make. All right, please comment. Let us know, what do you think about free agency? We're saying put a ring on it, and then you can have a whole driveway. Now, again, this is what we believe, the actual practice of such a thing. We just ain't been able to get it together, and we want to. We want to, because one, that would be very encouraging if we had more than one real good option.
Yeah.
Usually we have half a good option, and we choke the air out of that one until it ain't an option no more.
This is true. This is true.
Sounds good on paper. Sounds good. Make sure you comment. Let us know what we should do. Let us know how you handled your situation. Maybe if you are married, when did you become exclusively exclusive? Not just exclusive, not just together.
Right.
And should we wait for a ring? Should we wait for an actual full-blown commitment? Because I think about my last exclusive relationship, since you brought it up, which was the inspiration for this particular podcast, was last year and a half ago. Even though we had the exclusive conversation and we were dating each other exclusively, 30 days later, he broke up with me via text message while I was on TV doing the news. So obviously, he wasn't that invested.
Even with the exclusivity.
Even with the exclusive conversation, and introduced me to the mama and the son and the sister and the friends as the girlfriend. If you were able to send me a text message while I am at my job to break up with me 30 days to the day later, you wasn't that invested. And so now I'm sitting here thinking, well, I thought I had a boyfriend 10 minutes ago. So based on my last exclusive situation, I am a free agent until I am engaged. But also, to speak to the one that did that, he also did have a fiance that he did break up with on the phone and asked her to send the ring back.
So, you're a free agent until you're married.
No, he would do that too. So, free agent until the honeymoon. Honeymoon. Because I am not falling for that old banana in the tailpipe again. No, because we have been too disposable and too expendable.
Right.
For somebody to be getting all of our good time and attention.
Amen.
Sounds good. Comment, let us know what we can do differently. Let us know how you handled your situation or how you will handle your next situation. But I really want to hear from the couples and people who are engaged, married, or just been booed up. Like, when do you for real stop being open? Not saying cheat. When do you stop being open?
Yeah, good question.
As a woman. Because we know the answer for the men. Not generalizing nobody. Just the men.
Right.
All right, make sure you follow us on YouTube. Don't forget, if you're listening to this podcast, you can also see the video version of it on our YouTube page. You can also find us on Facebook, OhNoGirlYes, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon. We are everywhere. And we are still trying to get some content during the pandemic. We have actually been more active in the pandemic than before. We ain't been nowhere and seen nobody, but that's all right.
Still active.
We trying. That's all we can do. We'll have another update next week. I think next week's episode should be good because it'll be after the holiday, and we'll see if anybody has any fireworks.
It'll be over there.
We never know. We never know. It might be over there. We never know from week.
I hope we're pointing the right way. We're pointing the right way.
I know. We're looking at each other on the screen. Well, over there. It's the cover. All right.
Oh, well.
Oh, no, isn't.
Okay.
I was trying to see if you were going to finish that.
I had nothing.
That's all right. Isn't gonna be in exclusive. I'm free agent, so I know I
we'll
did.
See y'all next week
and all that. Don't worry about it. You ain't got to conjugate it, girl. We'll see you next week.